Alright, so welcome back everyone. Not sure what just happened, but apparently I haven't been streaming for 10 or so minutes since OBS somehow cut off my connection. But I'm back now, sorry about that. But, but here's basically a quick summary of everything that happened. So basically, so basically, I declare war on Bohemia, and now we're fighting them. We used the forced vassalization casus belli, so that's why our prestige plummeted down to 221. Guess there's not much explaining that's required. Anyway, I'll open the stream in a new... Declare war on a news. Sorry, I meant I'll open a chat on my phone and I see someone already joined. Welcome. Here's an open question for you all to discuss and write in chat. And now for getting back to the war. So I can... Oh, we didn't fight any battles yet. I just occupied Chrobry. But England engaged in the battle at Głogów, I think. And they're losing. Let's quickly come to their aid. And we were able to save them. Oh, and 4 people already joined. Welcome everyone. Let's see, we also have to pick a new ambition, since we already completed the war chest one. So we'll go ahead and try to create a treasury. And since we also defeated that army, we might as well also try and defeat this one, which is currently going to Crusader. Seems like 2 of our vassals formed an alliance. And we defeated them there. Now let's move to Prague. Vatican outrage. Letters have been sent out to the whole Catholic world from the Vatican. The Pope has demanded a stop to the beatification of sinful people and revoked the rights from the rest of the clergy to do so. From now on, the granting of beatification will be given out by the Pope personally. The Vatican will no longer stand more shameful examples like wrongful beatification of Halston in its name. Now only the truly pious followers of Christ will be granted the reverence of faith. Alright then, so it seems like the Pope gained more authority. I'm guessing the investiture controversy will start soon enough. Oh, and Emil has also become pregnant. So basically more alliance fodder. Can just quickly take Praga. And as my troops ransacked the castle of Praga, they uncovered an interesting relic that Count Sobieslav has hidden away there. So gained a Saint's Fingerbone, although it isn't the one of Saint Wojciech. We can now continue with the siege of Stare Mesto. Oh, and we also gain Volgas, because I also forgot to mention this, that our Brandenburgian vassal also engaged in a war against Pomerania and won, gaining Volgas for us. Oh, right, we have to go here and start sieging Hrada Skrowa. And we can obligate another vassal, sure. And now they can join in a fraction against us. And we're sieging Zaslav currently. And Best Prim is asking us to give him an epithet. I guess we can give him the handsome, sure. And we also have a new child who will name. We have Otto, and we wait. Let's go with Lambert, since we have Mieszko, and it's wait. He also had a brother which was recently murdered in battle, so let's go ahead and honor him by calling him Władywoj. Like that. So I'm pretty sure the stream still went back then, but Bolesław's brother Władywoj was murdered by Elder Nari Mantas, which we previously let go, and now we've got a rivalry with him. Perhaps we'll eventually be able to try and get revenge on him. That might be an interesting side plot. And also, but he seems to be having an affection, so I'm not sure if we'll even be able to do that. Anyway, we can also enforce our demands and on Jaromir of Bohemia. I thought this was the same Jaromir as historically, but now he's too young. And we gain Bohemia as a vassal. We also gain Trenčín by extension. Never mind, we won't go after the Kievan Rus here, but we might as well try against Casimir of Pomerania in a border dispute over Santok. Sorry. And let's gather in Gniezno now. And we'll also later go ahead and try and take Stettin. Oh, that was close, I almost disbanded the army. Oh, and the Pope noticed our wait. but he is a Catholic, so I'm guessing his notes our struggle against the Yotvingians, and decided to give us some funds to help us with the war. Although we're currently fighting a Christian power, but I guess it was maybe somewhat delayed or something like that. Okay, so the Byzantines won their war. Alright, and this army is retreating to Santok, so let's try and catch them there. The Battle of Santok. I am riding through the forests of Santok when I realize how this experience has simply become a matter of course. Sorry. I rarely even think when I charge into battle. It just happens. I could surely make use of this insight. But how? Let's see, we can become a rough terrain flanker. Sorry, a rough terrain expert. Flanker or battlefield master. We won't fight in too much rough terrain. We aren't currently on the flanks, although it might be useful. We might put ourselves on the flanks instead, since that might win us quite a bit of battles. My daughter, Princess Światoslava, has not been herself lately. I have noticed how she has lost weight and has become overcome by the episodes of intense fatigue. Apparently, the underlying cause is cancerous growth, which is sucking the life out of her. So we need to find a court physician. And let's see, is there maybe... No, there isn't any epidemic at the moment. During the last few days, my son, Prince Vyadovoy, has been clutching at his stomach and made frequent visits to the privy. I have now been informed that he is suffering from dysentery. Wait, both of them are? Oh, never mind. They're they're both suffering in to separate the diseases. Shortly after you spread the word of you seeking the employ of a court physician, a Jewish exile appeared at your court. The exile introduced himself as Niakim of Kumdag and explained that he served as physician to many rulers before, and as such offers his services to you in return for fair pay. Alright, sure. Wait, this stream is lagging once again. Don't tell me it's... no, it's probably just lag. I'm just hoping the same thing didn't repeat itself. Wait, I can actually oh, sorry. I can actually check on my... Wait, I meant to stop the game. I can actually check on my laptop here. And no, it doesn't seem like that. Now when we want the siege of Santok. Wait, but this is public, right? I'm just going to make sure that this is set as public. Yes, it is. Alright. Alright, so we can finish with this war. And we see Sandok for ourselves. Can we keep it? Yeah, I think so. Let's also check with the Holy Roman Empire here. The Euroland, Duchy of Mason. Are there any claimants? Gunzelim is one. And how about the Duchy of Lausitz? Alright, so no one here. So after our truce currently ends with the Holy Roman Emperor, 1109, we'll go ahead and probably our half-brother is at our court, right? Yes, he's a commander here. Oh, we can claim Moravia for Jaromir here. That will make him a bit powerful, but I think it's alright. We'll still have the advantage on him due to our number of allies. Oh, and hello Adam, welcome to the stream. And for that matter, welcome everyone who's watching, since I see that 4 people are currently watching the stream. Alright, we'll gather our soldiers on a central point, but not to cross the border. Let's go with Wielun. Yeah, you're first in this stream. There was also someone in the last one, but yeah, congrats on being first here. After the council meeting, Court Chaplain Przybor asked me to exchange a few words in private. Apparently he has uncovered a rumor concerning a rare artifact. Przybor believed there was some truth to the rumor and urged me to have a search arranged. We can arrange it ourselves. Oh, and they've attacked one of our armies on its way to the rallying point. Defeating at Hradec. And my moodiness and tendency to lash out at people is getting worse. I sleep too little and I can't seem to stop worrying. Alright, so now we're around 3000. And my liege, I write to you with bad news from Lublin. My efforts to root out heresy and convert the population have met with resistance, and the peasants are arming themselves. I fear we might have a revolt on our hands here soon. Oh, that's terrible. Wait, what was the multiplier again? Oh, plus 10. Not that bad, we could probably qual it easily. And uprising broke out in England. And Mieszko has also become a naive appeaser. Oh, and he can also marry Princess Gifu of England. Alright. We also defeated another army at Olomouc. And now we're heading to Brno. And I no longer find joy in stuffing myself with fine wines, red meat, and rich sauces. I think I need a diet. So Bolesław stops being gluttonous. Sorry. Alright, and we've also captured Brno. Now we'll head and attack these troops here at Hradat. Wait, who's attacking them? Bavaria over their vassalization. We have to hurry in that case. Let's go. England, come on. Vladimir, come on. Basil, come on. And Perny Orban, come on. And one of our commanders improved. That being Stogniew of... Wait, no, that's our... That being Pszczój the entire part. Oh, I'm pretty sure he was the one that our marshal recommended to us. We'll conquer Brno soon enough. Oh, come on. A sudden gurgling and fearing of pressure in your gut is all the warning you have before you are forced to make a dash for the privy. And oh, Eliakim of Kumdags. Best guess is that you are in the early stages of dysentery. He insists that you follow his instructions. Alright then. To draw the illness out of your body, Eliakim covered you from head to toe in leeches. Oh, and we finished sieging here, so let's go to Olmos in that case. Oh, why did Bavaria take that city? And let's also maybe improve our siege equipment in that case. We can also improve construction, and let's go with legalism. We can also obligate another vassal. Alright. And you spend most of your waking hours on the privy, where you frequently pass a loose, bloody stool. You have contrasted dysentery. And we can't even seek... Oh, we've been treated recently. Your court physician, Eliakim of Duke, has come to you and offers treatment for your illness. He explains that there are several different types of treatment he can offer. And since we're brave, we can try something experimental. Eliakim handed you a plate with a grey powdery substance on it. Apparently it consists of ground out scabs for a person in a worse state than you. Eliakim shows no indication of joking as he told you to lean in and inhale as much as you could through your nose. Oh, and great. We've just made everything worse. And we're back to Baspram. Again, now this is a bit of cheating, but I'm not sure since technically it's just against the game's RNG. But since it isn't as thematically satisfying to go with Baspram instead of if Władysław will go ahead and reset the game to the most recent save file and at least win this war and then go to something else. Since I do have a few other things planned for this stream. And 5 people are watching. Welcome everyone. Let's see, is 1701 alright? Let's see, we have diarrhea already here, so let's resign again. Quit the menu. We'll have to go to 1006. No thank you. Single player. Load game, and that'll be 1107. And we're back to the Battle of Chrobry. And the young Mieszko has finished his education. With a complete lack of guidance, he still tried his best to study stewardship, unfortunately to no avail. Alright, and we've basically won the Battle of Chrobry. Our ongoing struggle outside... Oh, and we're quickly going to accept the marriage. Outside of Chrobry has brought out the best of our military strategies. One of them is a Polish veteran with a penchant for innovation. He's suggesting that he retire from the battlefront and return to Lubusz to continue his work, safe from flying arrows. Yeah, sure. How good is he though? Oh, wait. Alright, he vanished, alright. An alliance with I think our alliance with Vlad is... No, it still exists, so there must have been some other pop-up. Now we'll go to Olomouc and we'll obligate this vassal. And the Duke of Silesia promises not to conspire against us. Also accept this request to join a war here, and now move over to Brno. So we're slowly achieving the first of Bolesław's major conquests. An alliance formed within the kingdom. And one of them are commanders improved. And we also enter after the army enters Raigrad, any sense of discipline is lost and the men start to rob, burn and pillage. Alright, so let's see. We can either let them have their fun, which results in a larger but less organized force. Have them wait for us to save just worth. Or I will stop this immediately and hang the culprits. Yeah, let's go for that. And how did it ultimately go? Oh, we unfortunately got better at G. And wait a second, since I feel like there's something in my throat. So I'll quickly mute myself. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. And we can again obligate another vassal. And the Duke of Kiev now promises not to join any factions. We can also develop our siege equipment so that we finish wars faster. And also the coalition against us dissolved, so that's useful, though it wasn't very large, so there wasn't really anything to worry about in the first place. Now let's quickly return to Olmutz before the Esztergom conquers the region, and beforehand I'll just try and call in Hungary to the war, since that might hamper their progress. I could have sworn I heard the enemy commander, Vladimir, barking orders, but as I searched the hill, he's nowhere to be found. A fellow soldier finally informed me that he has been spotted cowering in the far back, behind a fallen tree, and most disgracefully, behind his troops. So we'll make fun of him since we do have worse prowess than him ultimately. And Mieszko has given a birth to a daughter, Światosława. And let's go with Dobrawka, so after Bolesław's mother. But Hungary joined this war. Oh, and Lord Heresy spread to Krakow. Yes, they did. And we are able to capture the Count of Znaimo. We can ransom and end the war. There we go. Now we have a strong Bohemian vassal, but we also can do something else. Click here, go to the Kingdom of Bohemia, and here we have the Maybe I'll actually save off on creating the Kingdom of Bohemia until we do all the other conquests, since currently it's a bit risky to be doing that, since if we end up dying prematurely, we'll basically be dividing the kingdom. Instead, we might still try to go to war with Smaland today and end it at that. Or maybe also Rugan. Try to basically complete the Pomeranian conquests here. Oh, not this one. Here. We already have climbs here. So let's go ahead and claim Stettin. Wait. Okay, this isn't the best claim. Let's just go for a border dispute over Stettin. Call in all our troops. Call in maybe Byzantium was a bit overkill. And England. Yeah, never mind, that's very overkill. We will gather all of our troops in Poznań. And now have Stroilid here. And replace Sejemir with ourselves. Now let's go here. Legalism. Oh, and a large revolt spread against us. I think it might be best to actually... Oh, we can't call on our allies for that one. So we'll finish the siege and then go south and try to deal with that. Let's also appoint a new chancellor. Let's see, can I get a good noble? Doesn't seem like it, so let's go with Zbigniew of Mazovia and have him try to go ahead and get a claim on Nitra. And I think the King of Hungary is also the Duke. Yeah. We've basically finished sieging Stettin. Now we're doing it with Volyn. And Marshal Stolignev told me about his ideas. I couldn't really understand what he was talking about, but he was adamant in his belief that this would improve the military. Alright, we can adopt his ideas. To the most despicable King Bolesław, your low character is the subject of Greek plays. This is a formal declaration of war. Our armies shall meet on the field of battle. Okay, let's see here. So we're currently at war. The Swedish prepared invasion of, what is it again? Pomerania. Alright, here we have to call in our troops. So Byzantium, Hungary I suppose, England, and the rest. Okay, and we can go south and try and deal with our rebels. Another mob has gathered in Krakow, which just makes it worse. I need a larger army. There are no holy orders at the moment, so instead we can... How much would that last for? Recruit this army of 4,500 and gather them both in Bydgoszcz. We lost the siege of Stężyca. Oh, that was a bit overkill again. We also discovered another commander. Yeah, no, she was quite talented, better than most of our other ones. Let's go to Sonj. Oh, the Swedes are invading though. We'll have to go back north. And join our allies here. We can also attack these troops here. Oh, maybe it's best not to do that at the moment. Go there. And attack this army here. We want the Battle of Greifswald. Now let's go south. Where we're come on, Byzantium. Come on. Yes, they were able to join us in the victorious Battle of Brandenburg, although we did face very high losses. Let's go ahead and retake Brandenburg. I'm thinking I might have overdone it with the allies. This has basically become too easy by this point. In the Casimir the Great campaign, it's more understandable since that the Holy Roman Empire is basically just too overpowered. I needed a bunch of mercenary companies to even get close to defeating them. Now we can go ahead and try and finish one war. Let's go ahead. Oh, they actually just attacked us there. it was probably the retreat route. But anyway, we can finish this war, gaining Stettin for ourselves. And next up we'll have to deal with Sweden. So let's go to Holstein. Let's go ahead and quickly siege these. Naumburg and Segeberg. Young Sviatoslava has finished education. With a complete lack of guidance, she still tries her best to study intrigue. Unfortunately, to no avail. Right then, and we can have her marry Basil II. And he accepted. Alright, we can also call off these troops since they're just bleeding our coffers dry. We also defeated this army from Rugen. Oh, and it seems like the king of Siegeland has gone for the conquest of Halland. I have no idea where that is. Oh, here, since they have both territories in Polabia and Scandinavia. All right. Oh, Byzantium is currently dealing with a civil war. Oh wow, and it seems like Lithuania was replaced by the High Chiefdom of Latgalia. Oh, it's... Oh, this is just Lithuania, it just took on a new title. But yeah, Lithuania is expanding extremely fast. We might actually try to contain them somehow. We also still have Prussia as a goal to make up for Saint Wojciech's failed missionary expedition. Oh yeah, and can we do it right now, or we can only do it during peacetime? Alright. And Otto spends all day playing in the dirt, never seems to care about his own looks, not even during formal occasion, when a proper decor would be expected from a boy of his stature. Alright, so yeah, we can have him focus on bravery, why not? Oh, and a Swedish army is rolling down the Jutland Peninsula. And another vassal, which... Okay, and we can obligate. Sorry. And... yeah, we've obligated and the Duke of Mazovia won't join any factions against us. And we were able to defeat the Swedes at the Battle of Varan and win this war. Alright then. I'm not sure, we might have gained a bit of gold, but definitely quite a bit of prestige. And before we join that war, we can't move the capital here. Yeah, since I did this beforehand. Since I had to hop from ruler to ruler using debug mode to give all of the proper territories. Add that it would take up basically like 10 hours to just transfer every province individually. And alright, we'll join the war, the civil war. Oh. And another Lord's revolt at Starzyciela. Let's see here. How many of them are in Poland? Let's currently concentrate on Krakow. And I'll be back in a second. I will just quickly mute myself. Alright, I'm back. And I just reminded myself, since I disabled all of the copyright music, I can turn on the audio again. Since it might be a bit more dull without it. There we go. Let's all gather all of the troops in Winchitsa. I'm sorry, I mean Yellow. And we'll quickly recall these two small forces. And I can hear someone sneaking around inside and believed it to be a burglar. When I went downstairs, I discovered Samboya opening one of my letters. And alright, we can teach her not to be so loud. Sorry, just might be a bit too loud. I'll turn it down for the moment. Alright, since I don't know if you would be able to hear me over that. Samboya didn't react well to my way of correcting her behavior. I can fear she's even more suspicious towards me now. Alright, so our relations decrease. I think we'll just end the stream at that. Maybe we'll also try to go after Prussia in one more war. Oh, great, another rebellion. This time a Slavic one, right? Oh, never mind, they're right next to each other, so it should be quite easy. And my court physician Eliakim has shared some of his ideas with me. I do not know much of medicine, but perhaps he's on to something. He has asked me for some money to develop his theory further and write a book on it. Alright, sure. And we are able to defeat them here. Oh, and alright, it's a rash, so maybe not that bad. Alerted by a growing feeling of itchiness, you are appalled to notice the appearance of a bright red rash on your body. And Eliakim is fairly sure you are developing consumption. He insists that you follow his instructions. Alright, then we can end this war. Eliakim spent many hours studying the stars before informing you that in order for your strength to return, you had to fast for better half of a fortnight. Alright, and we can also arrange this marriage. Oh no. Reports of sores and abscesses are spreading across your body. Oh. Alright, let's try something extreme. The powder was yellow and had delicious scent. You were distraught to see Aliaki mix it with brimstone and sprinkle it over the tepid gall bladder of a beaver. The animal had been found rabid, frothing from the mouth, exhibiting clear signs of illness. We fight evil with evil, master. Alright, so our health increased significantly. Do we still go after Prussia, maybe? What could we do? You know, maybe let's try a quick holy war over Prussia. Call in all of our allies. Since this one will be a harder war, due to most of the removing world joining up, or I mean the Baltics joining up against us. Actually, maybe not that hard. Right. It's only a few states. Let's see how this goes. We have to wait for their armies to arrive. Oh, yeah, this might have been a bit of a mistake. Unless we can maybe Besprin with Lydia of Bulgaria. Wait, does Besprin have a... Is Besprin betrothed to anyone? Not at the moment. Besprin with Lydia, Princess of Bulgaria. They are unwilling. In that case, let's go ahead and take a 300 loan from oh, we can assign maybe make him a guardian. Like that. Wait, do we have oh right, they're also fighting for war. How about France? No one there. Oh, maybe Bavaria. Samboya with Henrik of Bavaria. Okay. Won't accept our alliance. Alright, he will. Let's go ahead and quickly, since we currently need to do this as quickly as... Oh, alliance with the King of England seems to have broken down. They're fighting a civil war, so they can help us anyway. Oh, and our alliance with Vladimir has also broken down. So we're defeated at Nakwa. Don't we have an alliance with... Oh, it broke down for some reason. Trovel, Otto. Alliance, yes. Alright. Call to arms quickly. Let's also hire a small mercenary company. Let's go for this one and have them go here. Your Marshal Zbigniew of Szwale has come to you with a suggestion. My lord, it is my opinion that Duke Stanisław of Pomerania would make an excellent military commander. I suggest we make use of his talents for the good of the realm. Alright then, sure. We still have to siege Kostrin. Alright, we did that. Why do we have so little war score? Oh, he took Besprin. That explains that. Eliakim has published his work on the four humors. His idea about black vial, plegar, blood, and alright, so basically, so Eliakim has received wide acclaim among scholars, and for being a sponsor, we also gain prestige. I'll try a bit of... I'll try something quickly. Okay, the Bulgarian army seems to be gathering. Maybe form another alliance, I wonder. With who though? Oh, are they no Bavaria? Won't cut it probably. Sorry. Yeah, we don't have anyone to even offer it. Ally with them since everyone was imprisoned by Britain. Sorry, Prussia. I'm not sure why I said Brittany. The Caritite faith triumphed. The adherents of the body faith have slowly dwindled to the point where the Kagite Kharijite yeah, I think it was Kharijite believers are in the majority. This new state of affairs has slowly reduced the body faith to de facto heresy. Our former Ibadi holy orders are now Khajarite. Alright, that doesn't really matter for us. Anyway, let's go put Bolesław here and Stanislav here. Actually, let's flip those around. Bolesław here and Stanislav here. Oh. And we lost the war, unfortunately. Unless we attempt to fight them. Never mind. We lost. Let's at least try and get out of our debt before we end the stream. Ah, this wasn't the best idea I had. And we got a new commander. A bit late, but... oh, wrong one. A bit late, but still... he's still quite talented. We did achieve a lot of conquest during the stream. To King Bolesław from Captain Shadowburg. The irregularity of recent pay has made the men restless. Regrettably, I shudder send a bit. The Rus band must cease its first service to you immediately, due to your Majesty's inability to fulfill the contractual obligations. Because of a dangerous faction starting up. Maybe we'll get some event related to that, so that our dead dwindles. So the stewards will be Udjedrug. Yeah, Udjedrug. But some of our some of Bolesław's children are still in prison. Alright, and that also includes a mild. The fever has broken out, only temporary, but I can still see the shadowy figures lurking in the corners. Are they real? Alright, this stream has turned for the worse. How can I request someone for gold? How about just Danuta here? And she refused to pay. Alright then. To be fair, most medieval rulers would probably be considered lunatics or something akin to that in modern times. Your faithful and trusted hunting dog is finally taking his last breath. Long has he served you since you first received him as a puppy, but now it's time to bury your old friend. You can bury him quietly in the garden. To give him a quiet but respectful burial. And we also doubled our finances during the stream. Oh, an alliance between us and Byzantium. Let's see. We have someone new to offer you. We can do this. We can reform. No. We can't reform it at the moment. Renato has finished his education with a complete lack of guardians. Again, has become an indulgent wasp. Well, I'm having dinner and plenty of drinks with Kaslas Slavniki tonight. It's lovely, yet what I am most charmed by is Kaslav himself. Why else would I not immediately stop our conversation, which has slowly begun to touch upon some almost heretical ideas, question the salvation of God. Alright, sure, I guess we can improve information. Walking the parasites of my castle, I am joined by Kaslav. I find myself agreeing with a lot of concepts he presents. Suddenly he turns to me and presses a small leather pouch into my hand. My lord, will you carry this with you for protection? Not sure if... Let's go with the other option. In this case, since I'm not sure how, if we would get some negative multipliers due to it being the medieval period. And 6 people are watching. Welcome everyone. We still have to... We can advance technology a bit. So let's go with this. And improve keeps. Currently we'll stop playing SK2 after our debt gets repaid. Still been a while since death wasn't too useful. My liege armed thugs attacked me while I was investigating the rumor of a plot in Lapland. I barely escaped with my life. Now I'm severely wounded. Oh, so that's unfortunate. Maybe something's happening there in secret. Let's go ahead and collect taxes in Ubush, I guess. My marshal tells me that one of my commanders, Janusz, has improved significantly. Alright then. That'll be useful. And another one of my marshals, Duke Stanisław of Pomerania, has improved. Let's see. Only 3 months remaining till our gold reserves get back up. One more month. Later you have heard persistent rumors from peasant and travels in the wild that a strange mythical beast has been sighted in your realm. It's a white bear, powerful and elusive. The common folk claim it comes from another world. Ransom a few people. As she is growing older, I can see some boya could use some guidance in one of my experimental areas, the art of war. This is my chance to make an effort for the sake of her education, but what can I offer? We can let some boy learn on her own, as we don't need to become more stressed than we already are. Alright, let's finish this off with... Oh, he won't accept. He won't accept anyone for that matter, unfortunately. So I guess we'll end this stream on somewhat... this campaign day on somewhat of positive and somewhat of negative. On one hand, we were able to defeat both the Germans, conquer much of Bohemia and parts of Slovakia and Pomerania, but unfortunately lost against Prussia. Yeah, I'll still have to continue this campaign in the future. I thought I'll be able to do it, finish by now, but seems like not really. So I've saved the game and continue this maybe sometime late June. Alright, so let's quit and now get to the other stuff I still have planned here. Starting off with... Let's try it. Somewhat short, but this is an idea I had. To play Akinator and try and find Bolesław the Brave. Let's go for characters. Has your character already died once? Yes, he has. Has your character been dead for more than 1,000 years? Oh, I think you're catching on to it already. Yes, he has. It's actually the exact anniversary of that happening. Does your character speak Arabic? No. Was your character killed by a vampire? No, this is reality. Well, he had the ability to command, but that's not really a power. Is your character European? Yes, he is. I don't think so. People claim that the Piast dynasty might have originated from Scotland or from Scandinavia, maybe being the Vikings, but it's still yet to be confirmed, with other sources originating them from Moravia. Well, the legends say that they were originally just local peasants, such as Piast the Wheeler, right? No. Is your character a part of SM Entertainment? No. Has your character lived in Italy? No, he did not. Does your character fight with a sword? Probably. That was the most common way of warfare, and he's even painted holding one, so I think so. Oh, I see, you're already thinking about the Balkan region. But no, he's not from there. Does your character transform? No, he does not. I don't think so. Also no. He isn't French. Neither does he have blue scales. Or is he from Oddworld? He also hasn't lived in Britain, although he did aid, what was the again? Knut the Great during his conquest of England. Is your character a separatist droid? No. Has your character ever been a member of the Communist Party? You know he's been dead for 1,000 years. Why are you asking this question? I guess it isn't properly programmed to that, or maybe it forgot by this point, but no. Is your character Hungarian? Your cross, since medieval Hungary did border Poland, but also no. Has your character played in Hero? No, he did not. Does your character live in your country? Yes, he does. Is your character from Georgia? No, I'm not from Georgia, I'm from Poland. Is your character from the Czech Republic? You're getting closer. Very close. Now. You were close since it was a first king and it was in Central Europe, but it wasn't Lithuania. Alright, we can continue. Finally we're getting somewhere. Is your character Slavic? Yes, he is. Did your character die on a mission? No, I think he died naturally. Little sources don't say. Was your character involved in propaganda? Probably, but I'll click don't know. Is your character Russian? No, he's not. Is your character from Slovakia? Klaus, but no. He's also not Bulgarian, but he is Polish. Does your character have one of more famous parents? Yes, Mieszko I. Does your character have at least one famous son? I would say so, yeah, Besperman Mieszko II. Is your character Lithuanian? I just said it was Polish, but no, he's not. Perfect, Bolesław Chrobry. There we go. And we're the 3,990th person to do Bolesław Chrobry. So that... so that's actually not as many as I expected. Alright, so... I'll close up that, and I'll quickly click the BRB screen since some possibly private information might be showing here. And now we'll step into the final part of today's stream, the reign of Bolesław the First. So now let's go to PowerPoint. Since I do have the maps here that I'm planning to use on what was it? Oh, right. All end early PS Poland all endings. Wait a second, let me just click there. Go ahead like that, and there we go. So here we go. Bolesław the Brave, also known as the Great, being one of two Polish rulers who actually holds that title. So here we go, before Bolesław's reign. Here we have Poland during the 1880s. During this time it was still allied with Bohemia, although following the death of Otto II and the infancy of it, of Otto III, Mieszko I did switch sides and turn against his former Bohemian allies, which slowly resulted in Polish conquest of both Silesia and Lesser Poland. Although some people say that Lesser Poland was, some historians argue that Lesser Poland was fully conquered only by only during the early rule of Bolesław I. But others say that the region was that Bolesław might have ruled it during the end of the tail end of Mieszko I's reign, and and it could have either been to prepare him for the throne, or alternatively, as some people say, to push him away from it. This can be also proven by the Gomme Judex document, which basically which was the first legal document in Polish history, which put Poland under where Mieszko gave Poland under the protection of the Pope. He also mentioned all of his children, but notably didn't mention Bolesław. This could have been possibly due to Oda's influence, his second wife, since rulers often tended to discard their firstborns due to the influence of stepmoms. A good example of this happening later on could be that between Mieszko III and Odon. So now getting quickly to oh right, and a bit of a bit of story about his personal life. He was likely born in 1967 to both Mieszko and Dubravka, meaning he was born a year after the Christianization of Poland. He later spent much of his early life in the German court, which later gave him many useful connections with it, which had helped him several times during his reign. He also learned to speak German while he was there. His first wife was the daughter of a German margrave. Later it was a Hungarian princess with whom he had Besprim, his first son Besprim, a later duke in Poland, between 1986 and 1987. Then his first wife, and the one who he was most loyal to, Emnild, who he married between 1987 to 1989, and he would stay with her till 1017 until her death. That is when he would marry. Wait a second. Alright, I'm back. That's when he would marry Oda, the daughter of the previous margrave of Meissen, Edgehard. And she would also likely become Queen of Poland alongside her. Next up, Now getting to his reign, so he would inherit Poland in 1992, following the death of Mieszko I on May 25th. He would originally share power with his brothers, half-brothers, Mieszko Mieszkowicz, Mieszko, son of Mieszko, as well as Lambert, son of Mieszko. But he would quickly force them out of the country, along with his stepmom Mother Oda, and also blind the opposition, most notably to nobles, Przybywój and Odylan. This would happen probably somewhere around 1994, and it might have slightly soured relations between Poland and the Holy Roman Empire, which were currently quite good due to Otto III ruling it, the two being in alliance. However, the relations definitely improved when they were together on campaign against the Veleti and Obydrites in 1995. There they got to know each other more, and the next major occurrence which would lead up to this alliance was the mission of Saint Wojciech to a Bohemian priest to Prussia in order to Christianize the region. He was sponsored by Bolesław due to him having poor relations, due to his house having poor relations with the Przemysls in Bohemia. So he would go to Prussia, however, and he would have some successes early on. However, he would ultimately step into a holy forest and get punished for it. Later on, Bolesław would offer to buy his body back from the Prussians in his weight in gold, where the Prussians apparently somewhat inflated his body weight by putting other stuff in it. Alright, so next up, so soon after that happened, the Pope baptized him as Saint Wojciech. I'm pretty sure he's known commonly as by something else. I'll quickly check. Let's see. Oh, he's commonly known as Adalbert of Prague. Alright then. But I'll be saying Saint Wojciech since it's more common in Poland. So his body would lay in Poznań, and then in the year 1000, Otto III would go to Poznań on pilgrimage to see the pay homage to Władysław, Saint Wojciech, and it was also a diplomatic congress, today known as the Congress of Vienna. The Congress of Gniezno. I'm not sure why I keep messing stuff up, but moving on. Next, so during the Congress, they exchange various gifts, such as, for instance, Otto III gave him the spear of Saint Maurice, while Bolesław gave Otto III the hand of Saint Wojciech, and also a part of his personal retinue. in exchange for Poland becoming raised to the level of the an archduchy. You see, Otto I's vision of this region of Europe was not by and mostly Poland and Hungary was not as typical vassals of the HRE, but as a strong alliance, unifying Poland together. Sorry, unifying Europe together. However, his death in in 1102 would hinder these plans, since a civil war would soon break out with. Let me just see. With Bolesław originally supporting, from what I recall, it was Edgehard, but later flipping over when he, but then changing sides to Henry II, later known as the Holy One. In order to when it became most convenient. Just a second. Alright, so next up, so he would also occupy the territories of the late Edgehard, those being Lusatia up to the Alp, as well as both the regions of Milsko and Meissen. He would then go to a congress in Merseburg, where he would pay tribute to Henry II, but and also request for the occupied territories. However, Henry II did not have the same friendly vision as Otto III, so he gave him only a few of the demanded territories in the region of Milsko, so the eastern part of Meissen, as well as parts of Lusatia here, including Balsan. Moving forward, when Bolesław was returning from the Congress, on his way, there was an assassination attempt on his life, which he only escaped due to the help of German nobles which were accompanying him. He blamed Henry II for it, and he later burned down a castle on his way back, and also refused to pay tribute from the gained territories. He would later also further provoke the German king at the time, since he wasn't emperor yet, by invading, by supporting the previously deposed. Wait, do we have him here? Oh, we don't have him here, but right. the previously deposed Bolesław the Red back to the throne, deposing the current Jaromir. Later on, due to the tyrannical rule of Bolesław the Red, when he returned, the Bohemian nobility requested Bolesław to intervene once again, which he did, and he would start off by tricking Bolesław to attend to a meeting in Poland, and later capture and blind him. After which he would take over first of Bohemia proper and then Moravia, becoming claiming himself as Duke of Bohemia. And also around 1101 he would takes most of Slovakia from the Hungarian kingdom, which was still establishing its core territories. But Jaromir would escape, would flee to Germany, and while Henry II couldn't intervene as of right now, he would, since he was currently off to Italy to claim the kingdom there from another claimant, he would return in late 1104, unexpectedly attacking from Bohemia, where the nobles turned on Bolesław, forcing him out of Bohemia proper, but still keeping Moravia. Later that year, the German armies would arrive at Bautzen, and after a long siege they would capture the city, and this would force the campaign of but they weren't able to capture all of the region, all of the lands in Lusatia and Milsko, which prompted a campaign in 1105, where they moved slowly towards Poznań, being hit by hit-and-run attacks on the way. There was also a battle at the Spree, but it ultimately ended indecisively. Although some claim it to be a Polish victory, since Germany did suffer quite a bit of casualties, including a commander in Tidburn. Next up, I have to unfortunately try and do this as quickly as possible since it's getting very late. So they would still advance slowly to Poznań, and since both sides were by this point exhausted as a result of the war, they signed the Peace of Poznań, where Bolesław would give up on both Lusatia and Milsko, as well as Bohemia proper, which went to Jaromir for the moment. He would also lose Pomerania to due to a pagan rebellion there, forcing the Christians abolishing the bishopric of Pomerania, and basically setting back Polish progress by over a century, all the way until Bolesław I the Rhine conquered the region in the 1120s. Alright, what do we have up next? So the next thing that happened. Oh, right. However, despite the treaty being signed, Bolesław did do several provocatory action, such as try to support rebels against Henry II, and try to gather allies within the Holy Roman Empire, as well as give refuge to Jaromir's brother Udalryk, and this resulted in a war. It was originally declared by Henry II, but since he was busy on other fronts, Bolesław acted first, taking over Bautzen and regaining his previous territories in Germany. He would also the war would generally progress at sorry, I can losing my train of thought right now. Alright, later on the Germans invaded, but only to plunder Silesia, and then they returned, and finally they launched another campaign, for instance trying to siege Lubusz, also known as Lebus today, which is actually in Germany, but failed, resulting in the Treaty of Merseburg, where Poland regained the regions of Moscow and Lusatia. It's also notable to mention that in 1012, Udalryk was able to depose Jaromir, and while he still remained loyal to the Holy Roman Empire, he did delay on sending forces early on. So as a result of the treaty, Mieszko II, Bolesław's chosen heir and second son, married Riheza of Lorraine, strengthening his ties with the German nobility. Another reason for the invasion was because Bolesław's ally in Ruthenia, Światoполk the Accursed, was wait, I'm pretty sure. Alright, Bolesław's son-in-law, I'm pretty sure, Stanisław the Accursed, was imprisoned by his father. So Bolesław tried to launch an invasion to try and free him and maybe gain some territories, although it didn't amount to much at the moment. He would later also launch. Alright, in 1014, he he would also try to make an alliance with Udalric. However, his former ally betrayed him and imprisoned Mieszko, who he sent as ambassador, sending him over to Henry II. However, he was ultimately freed due to the German nobility's positive relations with Bolesław. So that basically political, basically being a hostage, ended up working out well for him, since he had his heir back. And in 1015, a war started. The Germans launched. The Germans went from three fronts. One from from Pomerania and Polabia, another from straight forward the central path, both from to Lusytia and Milsko, and the third one to Moravia. Bolesław led the northern army on his end, Mieszko led the central one, and there were also some Moravian forces defending against the ones from the south. So Bolesław retreated when the northern army came, which was also with Wielas, and notable it's worth mentioning that Henry the second was criticized for allying with pagans to fight Poland. Oh, and another thing, the reason why this war broke out in 1015 and is also because Henry II finally became emperor the previous year, strengthening his position. Alright, so back to the war. So from the north they just pillaged, and then they were satisfied after a while, retreating. In the south, the two armies held their grounds, basically grinding to a standstill. While in the center, the Germans did achieve early victories against Mieszko II. Such as at the Battle of Chani or Krasnoodrzańskie, forcing the other river. However, when Bolesław finally returned, he would defeat the Germans at the Battle of Degoseni land, and also due to the hastiness of the German retreat, they left their camp behind, which resulted in the Bishop of Magdeburg, Gero, as well as Margrave Gero II of Osmark. Interesting enough that both of them were named Gero, but alright. Were captured along with 200 soldiers captured, wounded, or dead. Although those losses are likely a low estimate. Next up, following this victory, he achieved another one at Bautzen, and then sent Mieszko off to siege Meissen. And while he did have some early victories, notably capturing parts of the lower part of the stronghold, ultimately the rising level of the Alp River, along with the fierce resistance, forced him to retreat. And finally, in the last year of the war 1018, the Germans tried again to siege the heavily defended stronghold at Niemcha, but failed, and their army was slowly harassed, and as supplies dwindled, they were forced to retreat. and sign a humiliating treaty, fully giving up on the regions of Lusatia and Milsko, making them not giving them to Poland not as not under the suzerainty of the Holy Roman Empire, but as directly as direct parts of Poland. This was at the Treaty of Bautzen, which the contemporary chronicler Titmor stated to be a great defeat for the emperor. Bolesław also used the fact that he was freed up on the Western Front to finally launch his invasion of the Kievan Rus to support Światopolk. A brief summary. So Światopolk, following the death of Vladimir the Great, Światopolk became the Grand Duke, killing 3 of his brothers, but one escaped, that being Jaromir the Wise. Jaromir would later depose Światopolk, which made him flee to Poland, since Bolesław was his father-in-law. Bolesław would later launch an following the end of the war with Germany, he would launch an invasion, with the first battle happening at the Bug River, somewhere around here. Also known as the Battle of Olchenia. It originally started from, at least according to Gallus and Minimus, which is the source most accepted, that Bolesław's troops were partying to boost that Bolesław was holding a party for his troops to boost morale. That is until some Ruthenian archers came close and started harassing them. That is when Bolesław noticed the situation, and Bolesław caught wind of the situation before Jaromir could, so he quickly crossed the river and was able to defeat the still not fully prepared Kievan army. He would later go further into the Rus, hitting his blade against the gates of the city, making a mark in them. He would put Światopolk the Cursed on the throne of the Kievan Rus, then return to Poland, also taking Brześć and Red Ruthenia, and annexing it into Poland. However, Światopolk would quickly get deposed after Jaromir returned from Novgorod, and afterwards Bolesław didn't do any follow-up invasions. Although Yaroslav the Wise did try to retake Brześć in 1022, but that didn't amount to anything. So till the rest of his reign, Bolesław Poland remained at peace. So that's for 7 years, the most peaceful period in Bolesław's reign. Although, yeah, that's basically. Right, and I forgot. Bolesław also had alliances with the Yatvingian tribes against the Kievan Rus. With also some missions happening to the first Christianization missions to Lithuania happening under his reign, under Bruno of Querfurt, and that's when also the first baptism of in Lithuania happened. And while these missions weren't supported by Bolesław directly, since they were done by the Pope, Bolesław did buy out Bruno's body after he was after he was assassinated on his mission. All right, getting back to the end of his rule. So in 1024, Henry II, Saint Henry II, passed away, and soon after, Pope Benedict VIII also passed away, which gave Bolesław the perfect opportunity to seek a crown for himself. And with John the 19th taking over the Holy See, Bolesław started his coronation, although it's still unclear. I don't think it was clear if he actually got papal backing. And as such, on the 18th of April 1025, probably, there are also other dates, Bolesław coronated himself in Gniezno, becoming the first king of Poland. However, a mere 60 days later, a mere 60 days later, on June 17th, 1025, Bolesław I would pass away in Krakow. After his death, Mieszko II would succeed him. While he did have some successes early on, he wasn't able to maintain the same victories as Bolesław did, and was eventually overwhelmed, getting deposed by the nobility and the Kievan Rus in favor of Bessprym. However, Bessprym was a tyrant, quickly getting murdered, which allowed Mieszko to return. However, now he had to share, due to German pressure, he had to share the position with two of his relatives, his brother Otto and his likely uncle or something, your cousin Dietrich. Following his death, he would unify the state following both of their deaths in 1033 and 1034 respectively. However, he would also die a few months later, beginning the Piast crisis. Casimir would later come to the throne, however he would quickly be forced into exile, with both Mazovia and Pomerania breaking free, Poland proper going into anarchy, and Bohemia raiding Greater Poland, taking many important artifacts and relics with them, including the body of Saint Wojciech, as well as taking both Silesia and Lesser Poland. However, Casimir would slowly rebound and take back his position, slowly defeating, regaining the remaining Polish lands with German assistance, easily regaining the low defended Lesser Poland, defeating the Duke of Mazovia Mieczysław and Duke of Pomerania Siemomysł in two wars, and forcing them to become vassals, and eventually diplomatically regaining Silesia, although with having to pay German tribute with that. And later, in 1070, recovering Poland back to its glory. I mean Poland back to restoring Poland back to normalcy. Not sure. I wanted to make that sentence sound cool. Or maybe bringing Poland back at peace. Later, following during Bolesław II's first campaigns to the Kiev and Bolesław II's campaigns to the Bruce, something repeated itself. Bolesław's the first influence still shined through, as when the Polish army was approaching Kiev, supporting, I'm pretty sure it was Iziaslav, his two brothers begged him not to let the Polish army enter the city, and allowed him to take the position. So scared of what Bolesław I, scared of it, 50 years, almost 60 years after Bolesław's original campaign. Later on, Bolesław II would once again add Red Ruthenia to Poland for a while. And that's it. So quickly to summarize Bolesław's reign, I put him in high S tier. Not as boss, since he definitely had his faults. Some could even argue him as an A tier or a B tier, depending what you think. But you can't deny he was influential in shaping the Polish identity. He helped Poland avoid the fate of states such as Bohemia through some careful diplomatic moves, especially with Otto III, creating the Archbishopric of the Gniezno, freeing Polish, creating independent Polish church structures, which was one of the most important things for Poland to have its to assert its independence. Later on, he would also right. I didn't check in chat for a while, but Toniusz wrote pozdrawiam. Oh, thanks. You too. I didn't check in chat for a while, so I'm not sure if you're still watching. But thank you, and thank you to everyone who's still participating in the stream. Now getting back to my train of thought. Bolesław also showed Polish military power, that it had the potential to be on par or even sometimes surpass the Holy Roman Empire, Europe's foremost power, aside from Byzantium, which was recovering itself which was having its golden age under Basil II, who interestingly enough also died in 1025. So two great rulers in the same year. Right. Another thing you could say that Bolesław's great position actually did somewhat impact Mieszko's early reign, as only a few months after Bolesław's death on the 25th of December 1025, Mieszko II would coronate himself as the second king of Poland. And I think that's it. Yeah. Let's leave it on a high note. So while Bolesław did definitely have faults and created many enemies for the state, his influence in shaping modern-day Poland can't be denied, making several moves, which ultimately ended up for the better. Also, this could argue some could argue that this was Poland's greater its extent if you count the Kievan Rus as a Polish client state, creating the short-lived Piast Empire. Alright, so this has been the 27th, or I guess 28th stream of Project 1000. Thank you everyone who's been watching these streams for the past 2 months, everyone who's been checking on the community page and liking liking both the who has liked, subscribed, or wrote in chat. It means a lot to me. This is the stream end of Project 1000. Although there will be new things coming up very soon. This isn't the end of Project 1000 proper, since there are some things coming up. In Project 1000 will also still have the early PS Poland all endings. On another channel there will be a full reign of Bolesław I, a historical video, but I will give more news on that on my community page and maybe even an official video, as well as maybe another alternative history video. I'm still tweaking some about something. You'll see soon enough. But it does have something to do, if it were to happen, it does have something to do with the aforementioned Piast Empire. So, oh, and sorry I wasn't able to do the Jan I Olbracht stream. I'll repackage the Casimir II stream as the Casimir II and John I Albert stream, and I did add some tidbits in the first stream today, since it did get cut off afterwards. So, this has been the 28th stream of Project 1000, the last one in Project 1000 proper. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.